Welcome to Talking Trash, and today we're at Roosevelt School in Mrs. Haverkamp's 4th grade class. And this year they've learned about worm composting, and they're going to tell us what they learned.
I learned that the worms have to be between 50 and 70 degrees.
I learned that worms have 5 hearts and no spine.
I learned that you don't start out with dirt. You just start out with the worms in the compost box.
I learned that you aren't supposed to feed them any dairy.
I learned that they don't eat bananas.
I learned that they're not good for fishing.
Why is that?
'Cause they work and they're not fat like the other worms.
I learned that paper towels are compost.
I learned that worms do not like light. I learned that worms can't have meat or else it will attract animals.
I learned that you're not supposed to give them banana peels because they attract fruit flies.
Good.
I learned that you don't feed them dairy because it'll get rotten and because of the stench.
I learned that the dirt was castings, which is worm poop. I learned that it's better to grind the food up and just put it in there because it will take longer.
Can you show us what your cantaloupe looked like after the worms got done?
This is the cantaloupe skin after the worms got done eating it.
Can we take it out of the bag and look at it? There's not much left, is there? No. So should we go over and feed the worms? Do you want to show us what you're going to feed the worms today?
Sure.
Now we're at the worm bin live, and Aaron's going to tell us how to feed the worms.
First you scoot all the paper towels over, and you make an area, dig a hole there, and then you take some of the food and put it in the hole and cover it back up.
And do you put anything on top of the worms?
You put the paper towels over the worms to keep all the moisture in the bin.
How about, is there a black plastic bag on top?
Yes, you put a plastic bag over, and then you don't close the cover, but you put it over the plastic bag so some air can get in there.
And what does a black plastic bag do?
It keeps all the moisture in. And all the black stuff that I dug and put my lettuce in was the worm castings, the poop.
We're at Mrs. Haverkamp's 4th grade class at Roosevelt School, and we learned about composting this year. And great job, you guys. Thanks for talking trash.